Welcome to Grow Guyana, a weekly journey into Guyana's agriculture sector, bringing you the stories and perspectives from the people that are shaping food security, climate-smart agriculture, and supporting livelihoods. I am Ramona Luti, and this week, we visit a local company helping farmers improve productivity with modern agricultural equipment. We'll also look at Guyana and Jamaica's latest agricultural cooperation agreement, highlight innovative farming initiatives in Regions 2 and 10 and St. Cuthbert's mission, before bringing you this week's weather outlook. We begin on the east bank of Demerara, where the Grow Guyana team visits Farfan and Mendez to see how the company is supporting farmers with equipment for every stage of production, from land preparation to harvest.
Agriculture is evolving and machinery is leading the way. We're here at Farfan and Mendez at Providence on the east bank of Demerara, where they're highlighting how their tools are helping farmers to produce more in less time.
So using tools and equipment basically help to get your work done more faster, more efficiently. It basically helps to also reduce the amount of labor that you need to have your land clearing, let's say your land clearing, your land preparation get done. So these equipment, because they're that good and they stand up for that period, they would help to improve what you're doing as a farmer, make you more efficient, and also be more productive in your output.
So do you think that farmers or other businesses like this could benefit from removal taxes on these smaller types of vehicles?
Definitely. That would then reduce the prices on these equipment, because then you wouldn't have to pay taxes on these equipment. And in most farming activities, you would want to reduce your cost of production. And reducing prices in equipment would then reduce the cost of production, which would help with the market prices of your produce as well. So definitely a reduce or exemption of taxes on these small equipment would help farmers a lot. Mechanization plays a big part. We're trying to move away from traditional agriculture where we're using cutlass and fork and those kind of things. So hence the reason these type of equipment, the tillers, the brush cutters, they help to better help farmers to do their land preparation, maintenance, and so on. So these equipment would definitely be more efficient for the farmers, help them to be more efficient, and being more efficient, again, plays a vital role in cost of production. And in the long run, that would help us to reduce the cost of our produce on the market.
Agribusiness Development Officer at Farfan and Mendez, Lachman Bisundial, takes us through some of the agricultural equipment available to farmers.
We have chainsaws that could help you with your land clearing. More suited ones for minimal land clearing would be the 310 or the 382, or if you have smaller trees, you would want to look at the 182. In addition to that, we also have accessories necessary for these equipment, and we provide after-sales service. So as we go through all the equipment that we will show you today, we have the after-sales service available, and we also provide all necessary parts. Moving down the line here, we have display of some of the brush cutters that we have. Most farmers choose or would rather choose the 161s or the 291s because they're more robust in terms of operational fuel efficiency. So after you make your primary tillage, you could utilize the still tillers. We have it in 3 different models, the MH685, the MH710, and the MH585. After land preparation, you would want to also look at your maintenance of your crop in terms of pest control and so on. So what we have various knapsack sprayers. We have the SG20, the SG71, and we also have the smaller ones for if you're doing your kitchen gardens. We have the SG11 or the SG31. To get water to your farming area, you would look at your water pumps. We have various sizes in inch and a half, 2 inch, 3 inch, and 4 inch sizes. Today, we'll be doing a demonstration on how to use the GTA 26 pruning saw. I thought you show what you would want to do before you start any pruning. So let's get right to it. Now, in the pruning saw kit, you will have the pruning saw, a lubricating oil, a charger, along with 1 battery. So when you're pruning, you would want to prune in an angle. So these saws are mostly utilized for the fatter limbs, and you would have the shears that would utilize for the final limbs. So this is how we go it. And that's how you prune a plant with the GTA 26. The unit that we have here is the FS161. So the FS161 is a replacement for the FS160. So this had an upgrade on it on the engine part. So, and it also comes with the autocut. The upgrades are, it comes with it gives you better fuel efficiency, coming with a bigger fuel tank, and you get a little more power from it as well. I'll give you guys a little bit of demo of how this machine operates.
As farmers continue to adopt climate-smart practices, Farfana Mendez is also offering solutions for protected agriculture, including shade houses.
Shade house farming is on the rise and is more accessible than ever with the right materials and systems readily available.
So what we have here is a simple demonstration of the Isratech products that we have available. So here we have the drip irrigation hose equipped to a tank in 2 beds. So what this system does, it basically comes on and off automatically. So the filter, so you have your tank, which is elevated to about 5 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet height. It comes down to the filtration system that would then remove any sediments that's in the water, goes to your timer, to your main line, and then distribute to your plants through the drip lines. This timer that we have here is basically simple as it could get. This works with 2 AAA batteries, and you can program it based on how your crop needs water. If you're interested in shade house, we also carry shade house material. We have various types of shade house plastics. Additionally to that, we also carry HDP and LDP pipes for irrigation systems, along with the different sizes of drip irrigation hose. We also have available the ground cover to help you with weed control, and also the drip irrigation tape. In addition to these items, we also carry filters and timers to help to automate your drip irrigation systems.
Guyana and Jamaica have strengthened their partnership with the signing of several agreements, including one aimed at expanding agricultural cooperation. President Dr. Irfan Ali outlines what the agreement means for both countries.
This agreement goes beyond a system of food production. It speaks about technical support, training of our young people. How are we going to get more women and youth involved in agriculture? How are we going to get more finances, deploy the type of policies and programs to deploy more financing to support agriculture? How are we going to get the region to eat more of what we produce? The type of transport system that is needed, the value creation. So it's all the forward and backward linkages that is essential in building out this food ecosystem for our region.
In Region 10, the Watooka Agricultural Innovation and Entrepreneurship Program Hydroponics facility is improving cucumber production through vertical growing techniques and trellising. The facility forms part of a US $4.5 billion hydroponics project funded by ExxonMobil through the Greater Guyana Initiative. It serves as both a production facility and a training center, supporting the government's push toward modern climate-smart agriculture. Healthy soils are essential for productive farming. At NARI, research assistant Lauren Paddy is encouraging farmers to establish vermicompost bins while explaining the different types and their benefits.
I would actually advise especially livestock farmers to have vermicomposting bins. Not only livestock farmers, but why I'm mentioning livestock farmers is because for them, they would have the feedstock readily available. And with that, that can actually help mitigate the need for space and storage of the waste that the animals will be having. Because as they get the cow manure or the pig manure, or even chicken litter, we can actually use that, but that takes a little bit longer before we use that. Instead of having to find storage or additional cost to dispose of it, they can actually have the worms consuming them, and they can now sell it back if they don't have crops. Whereas with the cash crop farmers now, they can, I would also encourage them to have vermicompost. Reason being, when you're done with your crops, harvesting, especially like cabbages and pak choys, you know, you would have some amount of scrap, what we call the agriculture waste. You can feed that to your worms, and instead of having to throw it away or burning it, you feed it to the worms, and once again, that will turn back into vermicompost. Or I should say that would turn into vermicompost, and now they can reintroduce that to the soil to have better crops or fresher crops. Here we have a bin that was freshly harvested, and it is now at the beginning of the process. If you notice, you can actually identify the cow manure with ease. There is no need to be like, oh, this thing changed, is the vermicompost or is cow manure? No, what you're seeing here is actually cow manure. And yes, we have worms in here. Whereas over this bin here now, we can tell that the cow manure would have been consumed, and as you can see, the texture is granular in nature.
In Region 2, the community of Bethany recently celebrated its first successful tambaqui harvest using cage culture. Residents were joined by the Tashaw of Bethany and Director General at the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs, Sonia Lachman, to mark the milestone. The first harvest produced 18 tambaqui, weighing a combined 134 pounds. Meanwhile, in St. Cuthbert's Mission, Bakuri, Tashaw Alvaro Simon provides an update on the community's ongoing agricultural development initiatives.
We're here right now at the St. Cuthbert's Crop, Livestock and Poultry Farm, and just an update for what's happening here on the farm is that our cassava is ready to be harvested, and we're going to start doing so at the end of July so that we can get our fresh cashew for you guys in August. And I'm going to show you just now our pineapple. They're growing pretty well, and we've just cleared up 2 acres of land that will cater for roughly 500 dragon fruit plants. So as the farm keeps on expanding, we started expanding on the variety of crops that we have here. You will also see the chicken pen that we're having right now. Those we've already started producing at the pens. Very shortly we will be expanding into layers. I'm hoping that can be done within the next 2 months. But so far, the farm is working, and I'm hoping that person can visit.
Nominations are now open for the 2026 CARICOM Farmer of the Year Award and the CARICOM Ministers of Agriculture Young Farmer of the Year Award. Introduced in 2021, the awards recognize the outstanding contributions of farmers and farming enterprises to regional food security and agricultural development. Nominations must be submitted through the Ministries of Agriculture in CARICOM's member states and the associate members by the end of June, with the selection process beginning in July. The awards will be presented during the opening ceremony of the 20th Caribbean Week of Agriculture, which will be held in Jamaica this September. For more information on the nomination process, visit caricom.org. Now, here's a look at the weather conditions expected to have the greatest impact on farmers this week. Current forecasts indicate periods of showers and thunderstorms across much of the country, with some areas likely to experience gusty winds and lightning. Residents, particularly those in low-lying and flood-prone communities, are advised to remain alert as localized flooding is possible. Fisherfolk and other marine users are urged to exercise caution due to moderate winds and occasional swells. And that's it for this edition of Grow Guyana, a weekly journey into the stories, people, and ideas driving the country's agricultural future. I am Ramona Luti. Join us next week as we continue to track the growth, challenges, and opportunities shaping Guyana's agricultural sector.